AfterBuzzers, it's your boy Lem Gonsalves here with the second episode of House of Lies. We're going to dig into it and we're going to learn about a lady by the name of Claire with a K. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Tell them what we from.
Hey.
You gotta put up your LA. It's this, I think it's this way. I get it confused. Yeah, it's this way because
Did I
that's
get
right.
Hey,
I think we mastered it. We are all masters of LA. Throwing it out.
It's LA up in here.
It is.
We in LA. House of Lies is in LA.
It is.
It's going all the way down. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's House of Lies, second episode, Showtime. We about to get it in. My boy Marty is back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm back. I missed y'all last week.
We missed you too.
I'm in the house. I'm in the house. It's good to be back. I love the show. I'm always excited. But of course, you know, I'm not here by myself. First of all, I am Lem Gonsalves, and you can find me all day, every day when I'm out in the studio listening to my boy Ty Dolla $ign. You can hear me and see me at the Poet Saint all day, every day. Next to me, I have the one and only Miss Rhavin McSweany. What's up, girl?
What I do? It's your girl Rhavin with the V here, and you can find me at B Stays Busy all over the place.
All over the place. And holding down the anchor.
It's me.
I love it. I love it. First time working together, Miss Jill Munroe. What's up, girl?
Hello. So glad to meet you. I've heard so many wonderful things about you now. I'm happy to be on the panel with you.
Oh, so
Right.
You got me over here feeling all moist.
I'm saying your reputation precedes
Well,
yourself.
I mean, you know, my feelings.
I'm an easy knot.
I just my feelings.
Let's
Can I be in my feelings?
Okay. We're gonna talk after the show.
Oh my gosh! You
Let
always
them know
got
where they
it.
can find you, Jill.
You can find me at Stiletto Jill everywhere: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me, and I'll follow you back. Maybe.
Word. There it is.
That's hard to come by these days.
Yeah.
Right? Follow back.
A follow back.
Snobby people these
There
days.
is a.
It's just for my AfterBuzzers, you know. So if you let me know that, then you'll get a follow back. Otherwise,
All day.
probably not.
all day.
Oh, okay. She
Okay.
said
Well,
it.
then there. Hey, then there it is. How about
I'm gonna
that?
sip my tea.
Then you better sip it.
Kermit.
You know, but it's crazy because I think that whole follow back feature, because it is so like coveted, it's like it tells you when they followed you right back. You get that little, you know what I'm saying, that little situation, and I'm like, oh wow, that feel important.
Or it
you know?
even encourages them to follow you when you say ahead of time, like, follow
Exactly.
me, I follow back.
Right,
That type
exactly.
of thing. They're like, oh, click, click.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. I
The
wanna know what's
VIP
going
status, you know,
Exactly.
that DM access. Because what?
Don't be
It goes
sliding through
down
mine,
in the
though.
DMs.
Sliding
No,
through the DMs.
I mean, I'm just saying that's what I hear.
Whatever,
on. Right.
Jill.
That's what you heard.
Her DMs be popping.
My DMs are so dry.
Goes
it's really
down
sad.
and it dies.
You heard her
She
buzzers.
have dry
You heard her
DMs.
buzzers.
Dry
Hit her up in the
DMs.
DM.
Oh, they're so dry. All right, so this episode, we got a lot going on. And I love the show, the way they present it, because it's only 30 minutes.
Right.
But it seems like an hour. And they do it purposely, I'm sure, because once the 30 minutes is up, you're like, wait. And you got to wait till next episode. And they always leave you with a cliffhanger. And Showtime's really good for that. So I do like the Showtime
very
network.
true.
But I do love the show. It starts off with Marty, and he's got this new girl, which we saw last week, Miss Claire with a K.
With the
Now
K.
that I know
With
it's
a
a
K.
K.
Get it
With
right.
I didn't know that last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
with a K. And it starts off, they are going down. It's going down. Really in the DMs, in their bedroom. They're getting it cracking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Marty seems like he cannot hang.
He's not attuned.
like
the youth.
And there was some few
I think
scenes
it's
where he's
that
like,
that green
"Ow."
juice and that green juice she be sipping, and yeah, she's got a lot. She's like a vegan chef,
Yes.
or something like that, and she's like an Instagram
fitness,
supermodel and a
guru.
fitness, all that
Lots
kind
of
of stuff.
posts from
Right.
Runyon Canyon.
Exactly.
Sad selfies, moments, mood.
Right.
All
All
of
of
that.
that.
We'll
right.
definitely get into
And she has a
why
lot
later.
of hashtags.
Yes.
A lot of hashtags was going on
She's a
with her.
hashtag whore.
Hashtag. I call her hashtag queen. Like she's just the queen of the hashtags.
I like hashtag whore.
Oh,
but
okay. Well, that's how we feel. And you can get mad at me for saying moist. Okay. Anyway, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. So we also are introduced this episode, which I really love. Wanda Sykes.
Yes.
She plays Rita, who, interestingly enough, and this is really interesting, and I know, and I hope this really develops. I think it will, because Wanda Sykes, she's a really good comedian,
She is.
and she's been in a lot of shows. I really love her on Blackish and what she's done there, and so I don't see her like bringing them in like just for one episode or two episodes. I think she's there for the long haul, and she's there with Jeremiah, who is, of course, we know Marty's dad. and she's like his new boo. And it's interesting because like that's not his normal speed.
You know, she's age appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty excited for Jeremiah, really, because she seems to, whereas before he always seemed kind of youthful. This is different. There's a certain kind of electricity or buzz between them. Maybe it's the hot yoga.
It's got to be the hot yoga, but I definitely see some longevity in that because it's age appropriate.
Right.
And he can hang, you know.
But she has spunk, so he won't get bored.
Exactly.
Well, and it seemed like that was his thing. It's like he even though he's an older guy, he's always like do stuff and like he was very adventurous. And it seemed like that's why he
baby crush on him, you know, the first couple seasons. So,
but yeah, he always with the young girls and very pretty. But it seemed like that was always, I think, also created a distance between him and Marty because he was dating the same girls Marty was. So it's like, come on, man. So to see her, and immediately when I saw her, of course, I figured she was joking when she was going in on him, but I thought she was like an auntie or like or whatever. I mean, the fact that she was in the house and then all of a sudden, you know, Jeremiah comes out and was like, "Hey, it's my girl," and I'm like, what? Like, I was really shocked.
Marty looked a little puzzled too. Yeah. Not just because there was a stranger in his house saying, "Are you breaking in?" but just like, wait, do you want my... You know, he's never been quite grossed out before. Right. And he seemed a little taken aback.
I think he was a little pleased in a sense. Like, after it was all said and done and he was looking like they showed him through the middle of them. And you can see his face and he's just like... All right, okay. I can't talk smack about this right now. I don't have any jokes. You guys enjoy. Go back to bed.
Especially as he was on his way to get the green juice anyway from his little workout situation.
Exactly.
His girl, yeah. Was working him over. So we then go into Jeannie, and I love Jeannie. I love Jeannie. I'll just say it like that. And last season, I was just so hurt because of what she did to Marty. Yeah. And I really wanted, you know, she had the baby, and I thought that was, you know, it looked like it was going to bring them together. And it, you know, ended up not because they're both bullheaded. And they both won't give in, obviously.
And they're the same person.
Exactly. Which is why it doesn't work. But I really, like, I'm the hopeless romantic in me is like, oh my gosh, this should work, you know. But of course, right now, they're both dating other people. And so she's talking to her boss and discussing business. And so she kind of clowns Marty because, of course, they roll up and she's got alerts, you know, on her phone for when Claire with a K posts Instagram and all the hashtags and all that kind of stuff, which I think is hilarious, which also, to me, goes to show that she's jealous.
Because she's keeping tabs on
you know, I don't like to use the term jealous, maybe just interested in the woman that could possibly be around her daughter on occasion.
Really?
This is why I don't think it's
jealous.
This is why I don't think it's jealousy, because at one point she wasn't even worried about that chick, and Marty was the one that was like, she wants to, you know, do lunch. She wants, you know, he was trying to warm her up to her. So I think out of curiosity, she was like, let me turn her notifications on, see what she was about, and it just gave her more ammo. Excuse me.
Like, that's your girl? Okay, let's talk about it.
Oh, like to clown.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Like,
this is the female Marty we talking.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't think she's jealous. I just think she's got more to really like. And then it was even better because she sees her sad. So she knows it's because of Marty. She's like, I knew it. I knew that wasn't going to last.
Right.
Obviously, there's no phone calls going down. And because Claire with a K documents every moment, Jeannie's like, and I'm good.
We, as women, we read between lines very well when it comes to other women.
Glory. Yes.
I got that. If you need me to check a post out that seems subliminally about you, I can break it down for you.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate you having
we can
my
decipher
back.
It for you.
Right. I appreciate y'all having my back. I think it's a mixture of both. I do agree with you in the sense that she's kind of clowning, and it's a way for her to like, oh, let me just another ammo, like you said, to clown and, you know, to make fun. But I also, because I know for a fact, and you guys got to back me up on that, she still loves Marty.
Oh, absolutely. Always and absolutely.
Okay.
But, I mean, I just feel like, you know, maybe, you know, curiosity about the competition to a degree, but I don't think I think Jeannie just knew that's not going to last. Claire with the
I think we're gonna see more though of her missing him now that this next episode is gonna be even more.
Well, you saw we're jumping ahead, but at the end, like the whole hand on the, come on, son, like, and she like, and for a second she was like, And then she's like, wait, don't try it. Don't even, because they know each other's weakness. They know how to get to one another, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think it's a little bit of both. Nonetheless, she is checking for her. And then speaking of Jeannie, her boyfriend Mark shows up. And this is when it gets really crazy. So
Super left
she was
field.
all, and this is what I thought something was going to be up, because when, you know, last episode we see him and she's very lovey-dovey with him, like in public and all this kind of stuff, knowing he's part of the company. Like, I was like, there's something up. I didn't quite get it, but I'm like, something's going to happen where he's going to go left, she's going to go left, but there's just so much so soon.
Right.
Appearance-wise.
Right.
And of course, also knowing that she still loves Marty, any chance that she can kind of overexert the situation to make it look like it's more than what it is, then she's going to take every opportunity to kind of put in his face. So when he comes up and he's like, yeah, so, you know, I got to talk to you for a second. And then she's like, well, you breaking up with me? And he's like, nah, not quite. We can still be together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you with a sexual harassment lawsuit, so I can get paid.
And be
How
a
you feel like
teacher.
that?
And be a teacher.
I can better, you know, the youth.
So that
in
I
the
can,
future.
you know, supplement my lack of salary that I'll get teaching the youth to be better people.
And all will
Genius.
be right in the world
Genius.
because of what I'm doing.
Wait, there's so many problems with this.
Right.
Number one, she first of all got played. Which for
Super
Jeannie,
played.
because she's like, you know, she's like you said, she's a female Marty. She doesn't get played. She knows what's up. She stays on that. She does have certain weaknesses. And I think he got to that weakness. I think she's reeling over having this baby, shared custody with Marty, having to deal with him. It's not like she can just close a chapter with him because
Right.
they have a baby. So they have to share custody and she has to see him in all his elements. So I think, you know, she lost it. And of course, you know, he was treating her right up to that point, doing what he needed to do. However, she got super played, and the fact that like that was his MO.
Yeah.
Like he was gunning for her from jump.
That's so trifling.
Super trifling.
I think, you know, postpartum depression, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
She just, you know, coming on the heels of that. But it kind of also is poetic justice, because part of Jeannie's climb to the top
Right.
did involve a shady sexual harassment claim. So, you know, it's kind of game recognizes game. I think a lot of this episode spent a lot of time looking at, okay, the game will reverse on you, boomerang effects all throughout.
She did mention that. She mentioned that later on when she was talking to Marty and was like, "Yo, it is karma."
Is
you know,
that
because
how
she
you
did a
guys
certain-
feel?
I do feel, I just feel like it's her time, because when you are that aggressive in business, when you go that hard and don't care about the rules and, you know, do whatever it takes to get to the top, somewhere along the line, those same rules are going to apply to you. So it may not have been there, it may have been someplace else, but all the, you know, different companies and the scams and, you know, the careful bending of the truth or numbers and so forth, that's going to swing back around your way at some
So
point.
it's inevitable in a sense.
I mean, I do agree in the sense that it is going to come back. First of all, I didn't think it was going to come back so soon, because she literally just got in this position and she's just flexing her wings and she's getting Marty involved. And I like the fact that they can work together and still be, you know, even though they're, you know, not lovers, but they're still, you know, can be friends and they're co-parents, which is still an odd thing because they share this baby. And I know this was last episode, but when she picked up the wrong baby.
I was like, oh God, it's not baby Phoebe.
She's like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's
Turbo.
like, no. Like she thought, you know,
It was
what are
like
you
anti-breastfeeding
They're like,
in
no,
public.
that's not our baby. Like that's another mixed
That was
baby.
hilarious.
That's
by the way.
funny. That was
And
just
sad, and it
yeah.
also shows that she's got so much going on.
So much. But yeah, I was not expecting this. He hit her with that. And basically the fact that he was really trying to be like, so this is how it's going to go down. Like, you know, they're going to call you from human
Not
resources.
even I'm thinking of doing it. I've done it.
No.
Like it's already
Deed has
done.
been
I'm just
done.
giving you a heads up. Just a heads up.
I'm giving you a heads up, and this is, I care about you. So I'm giving you a heads up. I could have just not said anything, but I'm giving you a heads up. It's going to be really easy. They're going to call you from human resources. You're going to have to do some like, you know, little classes or something like that. But guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get paid, looking at maybe 7 figures, and then all is going to be well. There's no losses in this. And I'm like, wait, what? Like,
How does
are
that
you
benefit
serious?
her?
It does not benefit her at
It
all.
just seems like it benefits you 100.
I mean, and she
100,000%.
even said, she was like, well, you know, if you're dating me, that means you're not going to get fired, even though there is a
Right.
reduction going on in your department. He's
Sure.
like, yeah, I don't want to bank on that.
Right.
You know, he plotted, schemed,
I'm
planned.
like, yo, this dude.
This is really how the term, and all terms and exchange is very similar and alike. Dudes ain't you know, there's a lot of different renditions of that, but stuff like that birthed those different statements.
Do you disagree?
saying.
You obviously disagree to a certain degree.
well, okay, first of all.
And that was not to you, because you look like you felt like I was saying it.
Were you
to
internalizing
about
that?
you,
Was
but
it-
Well,
First,
hold on,
feel
hold
it
on,
right
hold on.
here?
We already had the conversations prior about the color blindness. So let me not go there.
okay, shout out to our engineer.
Right. My dog right there. No. All I'm saying is, and I know we're going to go this every single episode because it's two of y'all and it's one of me. So it's all good. All I'm saying,
No,
you got
see,
my
there
back.
you go.
Boy, right here. Yeah. And he can turn y'all mics off. Yeah. That's what we're
truth
talking
still
about.
remains.
Yeah, it's ugly. No. All I'm saying is, when you say it's a guy thing, yes, guys do that. Women do that stuff
No,
too.
women do it
they
too,
do
but I'm
shady
just
stuff
saying.
too. But all I'm saying is, if we want to put it all to the bare bones, yes, she deserved it based on karma because
Yes.
she did the same thing. That's all I'm saying. I think it was messed up the way it did. Like I said, I told you I love Jeannie. Even though she screwed Marty over and she did some shady stuff to get where she is, I still have a personal place right here.
And I'm sure Marty
in
does,
my heart.
obviously.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course he
Clearly.
does. Of course he does.
Clearly.
She'll
Of
be
course
back
he
at
does.
Khan and Associates
Exactly.
in no time.
Exactly. Like she's good, and I'm sure that this has to, with the story, because we have to, the whole, I think the bridge of this particular show in itself is the dichotomy between them two.
Right.
The entire pod, really
Exactly.
bringing the pod back
Well, yeah,
somehow
exactly.
it's going to come together.
And then almost there, it's just, without her.
Yeah.
So, and we did see, previous, in the previous seasons where they were all split up. And
Right.
the craziness, and we had Marty's ex, and all this stuff being in the mix, and, it was crazy. So it does need to get to the point where all the pod is together, and Jeannie is the missing piece. And I see that happening, and it just makes all the sense because that's where all
the perfect
drama.
storm
It's
for
the perfect
that.
storm, and that's how the show is based on. It's what we see between the four of them. So it's gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. I thought she was gonna do some more stuff. So so she has to go to human resources. She's asked all these crazy questions. It gets really personal, and she's like, "Oh, I said that," but it wasn't like and she's just backpedaling, and it was really crazy. I'm not gonna repeat none of the stuff that was said, but y'all saw the episode, so y'all already know. So let's get into. I've never heard this before. Shabritha. Can we just talk about?
Shabritha.
Can we just talk about the name? Can we just talk about the name though?
But that's
Shabritha.
her Dungeon and Dragon name.
I
Her
thought
name
that
is
was her
Tess.
real
No,
name.
Tess is her real name. That name.
Shabritha.
That name is
Shaboing
like
boing.
her princess or whatever her role
I didn't hear
is.
Tess at all.
Princess Shabritha.
I didn't hear Tess at all. I heard Shabritha because they all
Shabritha
refer to her as
yeah,
Shabritha.
because you're not allowed to really call someone.
But why you gotta have a Shabritha Dungeon and Dragon name? That's what I'm saying. Like
We
that
don't
makes
know
it
what
even
her
worse.
superpower is.
Well, my thing is like if your
She
mama
breathed on
named you,
people, Shabritha.
if your mama gave you that name and you have no choice, but if you pick that name out of the billions of names that are out there and you pick Shabritha the princess,
we don't know what it
Come
stands. It
on.
might have something
Come
to do with
on,
her
man.
superpower.
We've got questions
Superpowers.
and we need answers.
yeah, I don't know. We may need to bring the live chat up.
I
If,
missed
if,
the
if
test.
anybody's on
I
the live
missed the
chat,
test,
bring it
too.
up for us because that is Shabritha. I just can't right there. I can't. They just did her dirty with that. But anyway,
So you digging Shabritha? The name?
No.
her as a
okay.
person.
I'm digging
Okay, so
her
we're
as
all
a
in agreement that that
person.
name is foul.
The name is I'm gonna assume it means something somewhere.
Oh gosh.
Because it's quite questionable, and I'm just not gonna judge.
Strength of wolves.
I'm not gonna judge. Yeah, it could mean that. Do you know? We're not gonna judge.
I love her spirit. She's not
We're
gonna
not
judge
gonna
anything.
judge.
I'm so full of
I'm
judgment.
judging all day.
I'm so full of
Shabritha?
judgment.
She's a
Come on, man.
29-year-old like leader
Shabritha.
of the world.
She's a little mogul.
Her name is
Yeah,
Shabritha.
so
All right.
I can't throw shade.
Anyway, Shabritha, Tess, aka Tess, comes to lunch with the group, right? And so her and Doug are talking, and Doug is mentioning that, you know, they play Dungeons and Dragons together, and that's where he knows her from. But of course, Doug is secretly, he's always like, I love Doug too. Doug is hilarious.
I need to
he's
find
always,
him some love.
Yeah, right. I know. He's always trying to one up. He always getting dog. He gets the worst of it. Everybody picks on him. He always tries to have comebacks, and they just never work.
They fall flat.
They always fall flat. So he's always that. So he's trying to, of course, assert himself, and he ends up, meeting Shabritha at the. I gotta say it like that. At the Dungeons and Dragon, finds out, where she works. Where she works, and he's like, "Oh, wait, I could work this. This could work to our favor. Let me hook this up."
She's so smart.
Exactly.
She's seeing straight
she
through
knows
that.
what's up. So they decide to be a good count, but of course, Marty, thinking one step ahead, is like, "Oh no, I'll be at the game. I'm gonna handle that." And he's like, "No, I got that. Nah, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna make this work." So
I love that Marty went. I mean, he's going to go from his
Of course,
personality, but
of course,
I loved
of course.
seeing him there.
Oh, dude, and that's another part that I love about the show is the things that they get into, because they're trying to get these accounts, and the things that they go, the links that they go through, the malarkey to get these accounts, and where they end up is crazy. And this was another one that was amazing. Dungeons and Dragons, playing it, and we're really getting serious. It
was super funny because I'm not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons like that. You know what I'm saying? So to watch him and to hear, because I'm like, I know the homie, the Mark. What does he say? He was
Doug.
He was friends with the friends with one of the bad guys that owns a liquor store,
like the Goblin or something like that.
My Goblin homie owns a liquor store.
Yeah, and Doug was like, well, wait, what?
I'm like, cool, let's make connections.
Right.
I was like, why would you ever be friends with
do that?
a Goblin?
I love the dude's reaction. He's like, why would you be friends with a Goblin?
My favorite thing about this scene is the fact that Doug was Marty.
Yes.
And Marty was Doug in this whole scenario.
In this scenario.
And then everybody would stop and look at Marty like,
right, like what?
What are you?
What are
It was perfect for Doug.
And Doug's just waves of arrogance were just flowing off of him. I loved it. I loved it.
But I thought it was great to see Doug at the end, because of course he's doing his thing, and he's like, this is his wheelhouse. This is where he's shining. He's shining. Marty's obviously, and so you see it continue when they're talking to Shabritha, and
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I can't. But they're talking to Sabrina, and Marty, pulls her to the side, and of course, he's like, yeah, so, and of course, like you said, she's smart. She's like, what's
my panties
what's
or my
up?
business?
What
Which
you
one
want?
is
What
it?
you want? You want one of the
Let's
two. And so he's like, well, actually, business, I think you're, this and that, fluffing her up, doing what he does. And then here comes Doug.
Sliding
and
in.
it looks like Doug's hating. He's like, oh, Marty, you'll know. Remember this? And then Marty's like, wait, dude,
He's like, hold on.
You're messing
see
it
the
up.
irritation
right? Because the
rising.
whole thing is he's trying to close her in a sense to get her business, and it's like Doug is messing it up by showing, Marty's, the fact that he's weak in this area, and lo and behold, he flips the script, and then the whole time he's working both of them.
He had that angle.
Exactly, and then turns around, and I love how he just changes sides, and it's on Marty's side, and he's like, yeah, man, you need to be with him. Because he's the man, and he know how to do it. And she's just like, okay.
That was my favorite part.
Okay. That was really dope.
Do you think that they're going to link up in some type of dating fashion?
It's
Doug
very
and her?
possible.
Doug and Shabritha?
No.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Doug and
Doug and Shabritha.
I don't see her with Marty. No,
I don't see her with Marty at all. But I thought I saw a little spark or something between her and Doug. I was like,
I mean,
maybe
it's a
there was
possibility.
some definite confidence in Doug.
When he was talking with her.
Yes,
He was a
you know what I'm
different
saying?
guy.
And normally we see him and he's a little, tripping over things and tripping over his words.
Right.
But the part that I really enjoyed about that was that he needed that shine. He had his moment when he was going over with Marty, like, what's your character? No, you can't just, who are you? Not what are you? And Marty was getting super like, I'm gonna sock you in your face in a minute. If you
and he
calm
got
down.
to make Clyde the b-boy. I don't want to say the word, but Clyde got to have to put together the
was
PowerPoint,
perfect.
do the research. He never has
right.
that. He's used to, shoving all that
This
off the
episode
Doug.
was
So
for Doug,
It was
and
like the
I-
reversal.
It was.
No, it was good. It was good. And, he needs to be dropped down a level because he's always thinking he's one. Clyde is always doing that. And it was good. I did like that aspect. To give Doug some shine. This is his wheelhouse. And hopefully, as it progresses, to see if that is a case where he's going to be more. I mean, his character is one that he's always like, doo, 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 doo. That's his joint.
is.
That's the character he plays. And it works well, with, all of them coming together. But it'll be interesting. I do, just to piggyback on what you were saying, Jill, I think that could be something with Shabritha. Like, I think there could be something with Doug because he's into those different type, like you see like the people that he's been with, like what was the last one, the little skater girl that was super young,
the one she worked at the office,
exactly,
right?
yes. That was part of the company. Like he's just into people that you wouldn't necessarily maybe like, I don't really see him with her, but then there ends up being something. So I think it could be, especially if they end up working, doing this account, and they want to build her character.
Do you think if it does happen that Marty will give him more leeway on this account to kind of head it?
I think so. I think he will. I mean, I think he keeps Doug around for a reason.
Right.
If Doug wasn't good,
he'd be gone.
Yeah. So he's obviously there, even though, like I said, he's always doing whatever, but he's there for a reason, and he knows, certain things, and he's good with numbers. So I think because this is his wheelhouse, with the whole Dungeons and Dragons and, that kind of thing, it may spawn something more where more counts are brought from that, because with that kind of, I don't play either, I don't know, but I'm assuming that it's a close-knit group. So if there's other people that they could reach that have companies and they got money and stuff like that, it would be a great way for him,
Perfect.
So I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
Perfect.
Yeah. So going back to Jeannie, she ends up having a conversation with the CEO, right? And so, of course, he comes in there and she's like, trying to fix it, like, it's going to be okay and we're going to bounce back and da-da-da-da. And he's like, nah, it's just resignation. Let's go take that.
Bye, Felicia.
And you got to get about. And she's like, wait, how you going to, da-da-da. And at first, and it was interesting because here's Karma again. She's at first thinking like, well, I built this and da-da-da. How you just going to let me go like that? And then the bottom line is, as she's saying this, she realizes, oh, wait, you want to let me go
Teddy
so you can
plan.
take all the credit for what I did. Ah, that makes sense. So then it's really bad. And so she sees that. She's like, wow, I'm really getting stuck here. So she basically has to be gone by Friday. So, and again, I don't see there any being problem with it, but it's just the fact that she did work hard for that position and now she's gone. What do you guys think of that?
I think that obviously, she thought that he wasn't picking up on things that she was doing as far as kind of trying to make it more of a fire than the situation actually was with their competition with the other company and what was happening with the FDA. I think he picked up on it. And he thought her plan was good. He probably, I'm assuming, knew what Khan and Associates had a reputation for.
Right.
And so he wasn't worried about that aspect of it, but he wanted to make sure he retained control on the inside. And Jeannie was a threat. So she crossed her own self out probably faster than he expected.
Ah, very good point,
I
Jill.
actually like that point too.
Very good point.
I totally agree with
I like that. I like that. I agree with that too. I think that's a great point. So we move on, and then we see Marty ends up talking to Jeannie, right? And he says that he's taking a break from Claire with a K, right? And so, of course, she's like, oh, interesting. She doesn't like her. She doesn't, she didn't want to be with her. Again, my point
I
that I
think
was
in the
saying,
back of her mind, she was just like,
well, I think especially now that her dude's gone, and it's great for him to be single because she doesn't have to be thrown in her face. Because
Right.
again, she loves him. So if he's not with somebody and she's not with somebody, then at least they're not with someone
and
together.
they can be together when they want, every once in a
If
while.
they want
and
to.
It won't be a
Right.
bad
If they
thing.
want to,
Right.
which I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes because, but, well, we'll get a prediction in a second. But yeah, it looked like it could go down sooner than later. I don't know. But anyway, so lastly, we see, Jeannie telling Marty at his house when she's picking up the baby, and I see that this is going to happen a lot because they have to come together for the baby. So, and a lot of times it's at his house, so it's a more comfortable environment.
It's gonna be the end of the episode thing.
Exactly.
Often.
often, like the heart to heart, So of course, Jeannie tells Marty that she was fired. Everything that went down. She starts getting emotional because she's like, I worked so hard, and this happens, and it's not my fault. Blah blah blah. And Marty consoles her. He does that little hand and just puts it, on the face.
The hashtag F-Karma.
Exactly. And so, and of course, she's like feeling, and she's like, wait a second, no, you ain't gonna get me. But he's like, no. I'm really just genuinely trying to console you and be there for you. She's like, all right.
I think having a daughter softened Marty
Exactly.
a bit.
I think so.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
so. that definitely plays with him. I mean, he's still shrewd. He's still a go-getter. He's still a businessman. But I think at the end of the day, it is helping her. And I think if it moves into the part where we see him maybe be with Jeannie, it maybe even be a more soft. I don't know. We'll see. And then lastly, we see them over at Davis Dexter, and he's like, he basically works out something with another company to kind of screw them over to kind of help her get back at them. So he's like, thank you, say thank you.
Right.
And then he's like, I got to be here Friday. He's like, let's go. Let's get up out of here. So you see that at the end of the day, they're always going to be friends and they're always going to have each other's back.
Yeah, there's back, yes.
So that's always going to be there, but it's going to be interesting to see if and when the romance kicks back up, because they have to see each other all the time. Like, it's just inevitable.
I think the work comes back before the romance.
Yeah.
Just because also, Marty is a serial double backer.
Sure.
He and Monica went back and forth for how long. And she was someone I think probably started off with him, not too dissimilar for he and Jeannie, So I can see them, come back to the team. Come on,
Plus
we can
she
make a
needs
lot
a
of
job.
money. Yeah, she needs a job.
She's got a daughter to provide for.
Child support. She could get that.
Exactly.
But, I think that feeds her. So when she comes back on, so I think that we'll work through work before, the romance stuff, but there'll always be touches of it. But I think that is sort of their touch point, even though now Phoebe obviously has raised the level for that.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we gotta get Jeannie back in the game.
Yeah, we do got to get her back.
Get the coins.
We got to get it back. We'll see. But like I said, going forward, I can definitely see her coming back. But anyway, before we do predictions, we have some news and gossip. Let's get it cracking.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so we're going to divert to Miss Rhavin with a V. What you got for us?
Did you guys know that House of Lies is technically the first scripted American series to film in Cuba after that U.S. and Cuba drama?
Oh, wow, they're going to Cuba this season.
Yes, a little
Really?
tidbit. They'll be filming in Cuba for this season. Yeah, and exactly, they're making history with that.
Well, they've already filmed, you're saying. So
Yes.
we haven't seen those
We
episodes
haven't seen it yet.
But they filmed in Cuba. Really?
Yeah, so I was excited
Wow.
to hear that. I was looking at an interview that Clyde, his real name is Ben Schwartz.
Right,
He plays Clyde.
Right.
I'm like, Clyde. He basically,
Had mentioned that.
yes, and I was excited. But moving along, Don Cheadle has been very busy. Acting, directing, and co-writing this movie, Miles Ahead, which
did
is
see that.
a very different kind of biopic about Miles Davis. So I wanted us to check out the trailer if anyone hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. Is it up? Oh, yeah, let's do it. Cracking.
I'm excited. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, he was handpicked for this.
If you gonna tell a story, come with some attitude, man.
Miles Davis. My name's Dave Braden, Rolling Stone magazine. I'm here to do your comeback story.
Okay, move back a little bit. Yeah. Don't send people to my house.
You have new material.
My material, my session tape.
You're under contract here. We actually own that tape.
Miles!
You own? How much money you got on you? Okay, you about 19,000 light, but that's a start. I moved to New York, met some cats, made some music.
Studied piano too, huh?
Nah, just woke up black, knew how to play.
You're black?
The music don't move on in this dead music. It's all about improvisation. Francis, I'm gonna send a plane to pick you up. I need you. I love you. Somebody stole my tape.
What?
You call him right now, tell him you're coming over.
Can't take y'all over there, man. He'll kill me.
You don't do what I say, I'm gonna kill you. It takes a long time to be able to play like yourself.
I gave up everything for you, Miles. I deserve better than this.
Hey, hold it, buddy, hold it. Do you have a ticket?
You're looking at it. You trying to piss me off, man?
You don't know what the word lose means, do you, Miles?
I'm giving my music back.
This is
is madness. I am not dying over this jazz tape.
Don't call it jazz, man. That's some made-up word. It's social music.
Word.
Yeah, so he actually learned to play the trumpet and everything. So I think that was awesome.
He's an amazing actor.
Yeah, I saw the movie. It was an interesting movie. I'll just say that.
He did say it was non-traditional biopic.
Definitely non-traditional. Very interesting. I think it's one of those. I think critically, I think it'll do well. But I think it's one of those labor of love movies where
exactly
he
what he
wanted to
said.
do it and he directed it, and he himself, oh my gosh, he transcended. Like, it was not, you see actors and you're like, that's Will Smith. That ain't so and so. You know what I'm saying? Or that's whoever. No, he transformed to Miles Davis. Absolutely.
Just from watching watching the trailer, I didn't think I was watching Don Cheadle.
You don't
at
even
all,
see, and I love Don Cheadle.
I was like, dang, Miles is dangerous in his day.
Yeah, I've seen just about every movie he's done. A big fan of his, but yeah, this movie he transcended.
I gotta check it out then.
So,
and Buzzers, go check it out if you get a chance. I think it's at selected theaters.
Yes. I saw it at the ArcLight. Shout out to the people here in
down
LA.
street from my house.
Yeah,
Hey.
what?
And moving along, Kristen Bell. This was announced last month, but we didn't get to tell you about all the stuff that they're doing last week. So, Frozen 2 is in production.
Oh shoot!
And Kristen Bell was Princess Anna. So that's dope. We have her tweet. I guess that was her idea of saying Frozen is coming, laying on a bag of ice.
Oh, got it.
She's so cute.
Yeah, they're actually building. Well, it's going to be for those of you. I really love Disneyland, and so for those of you who are Disneyland fans, Frozen the musical is coming to Disneyland this summer. So,
oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to go there.
Exactly.
Make sure you get your tickets online in advance because the ticket prices, depending upon what day you go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's already $200.
Yeah, I have a pass.
So.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
well, aren't you
living
special?
large, taking charge, big boy.
I mean, don't hate right now. So
I'm just saying.
I'm going with you.
I'm just saying.
Disneyland passes.
I mean,
that's the real baller.
So we're going with you?
VIP. I
we're
mean,
going
it
with
just
you?
happens. If you
so
want,
we're going with you?
If you want to be VIP status.
Is you rolling or not?
If you want to be VIP status, you can roll.
I mean, and do you get fast pass bonuses so we can get on the rides?
I mean, I get little discounts here and there. I'm just saying, I mean, it happens sometimes. I mean, I get first, privileges, first in line.
You can just pack me in your little bag.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Space Mountain all day.
All day, every day, son. They actually changed this. It's Hyperspace Mountain.
Oh,
it's all Star Wars.
Oh wait, yeah.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, I bet you guys didn't know this. Hey, Ben Schwartz, who plays Clyde, was the voice consultant for BB-8. Did you know this?
No.
Okay, because no one actually reads or stays for the credits that often.
Right.
But before Bill Hader, before he got into it, he did his own little thing. So one of his fans kind of curated this fun little clip from Rex and Parks.
Oh, really?
Some of those scenes.
Okay.
Oh, buffering.
What do you say you and I get together in a special way?
No!
Listen, beautiful, let's cut the bull, right? You want this. I definitely want this.
Hot mess.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce.
In the morning you go.
That's cute.
You know I be.
I can't. So those obviously, that's not obviously what was recorded for BB-8, but those are some of his little sound bites from Rex. Wait, was it Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
Yeah. So obviously he was in the beginning phases of it with JJ. And it was
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, just Will Bebop, whatever. But I thought that was a really fun tidbit that I think no one really knows.
No.
He got credit for that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
So that's all I have to share for news and gossip.
Word.
As far as
Very
now.
informative.
Yeah. Well, let's just go right into predictions. Let's just do that.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. So you saw where you left off, kind of Marty and Jeannie kind of going off into the sunset, say they're just going to leave everything right now and kind of do their thing. We did see the previews going into the next episode. I'll start with you, Jill. Where do you think the Jeannie and Marty situation is going to go next?
Like I said, I think it's going to be sort of a slow, quick burn, as we, talked about the pacing, obviously, of the episodes. But I think that business will bring them back together because Jeannie's not going to be able to sit at home. She obviously brings a lot to the team whenever she's involved, and they just work well together. So there'll be some type of way, something where Jeannie's involvement will come about and bring them back together and maybe back in each other's beds. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bed is always open to them. Like,
the bed is always open.
I was talking about this last week. That baby mama, baby daddy, handbook rule. It's always open.
Keep it in the family.
But it's always open.
Right.
It's always that back door to slide through and just be like, hey, we did it once. We made a kid. I'm familiar with you. We love each other.
It's not unnecessary extra mileage.
It's not unnecessary. Exactly. See? I definitely think that's not an issue. That's going to happen off, on, in, out. But I do feel like she said, Jill mentioned, we have to get Jeannie back. Getting her coins.
Right.
She needs her coins.
She needs that money.
And the fact that Marty kind of looked out for her, he's like, see, I did you a favor. Come on home.
Right.
Come on home. So I feel like they shouldn't make it that easy for us to assume that because things are happening a lot quicker than I thought they would.
Absolutely.
But that's all I can see is her going back to Khan and Associates quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And two, just piggyback on everything happening earlier, I think there's a lot they want to give us this season. And that's the only reason I could think why they didn't drag. Because they could have easily drug out Jeannie being there and her with the dude. And then maybe there's tension, whatever. And then this happens. But the fact that this is the second episode and then all of a sudden that's over and now she's coming back. So I think there's just a lot more they want to show us.
Right. In so little time.
Yeah, exactly. And I do love just looking at the previews, them going to that retreat place and the guy and then just they're going to fight. It just looked hilarious. So I'm really excited about the next episode. I definitely think that there's going to be something with Marty and Jeannie just because that's what they do.
It has to.
I think definitely Doug is going to get with Bonquisha. Oh, Sabritha. Sorry. I just made it clear with the name. Right. And then it'll be interesting to see our other homeboy, who you just mentioned, what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
So, because we haven't really seen much of him.
He's not doing much
other than him talking to Doug.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing is just getting on Doug.
Talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably going to have a shining moment, maybe. And also, we haven't really seen much from his son.
Roscoe,
we haven't seen much from Roscoe. Yeah. So we
I
got to
know
see
we
more.
were just asking last week, where he is, as far as sexuality goes. I mean, I know we know he still has lipsticks and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I like his story. I like when they get into his story.
My thing with him is I just don't like that he's always against Marty. I understand Marty isn't the greatest parent, and he admits that. But it's when Marty's trying, Roscoe still gives him the business and dismisses him.
But that's teen angst.
It is.
That's teen angst.
I do shout out to having that Stevie J haircut though, because he did have the Stevie J
ramp at the front,
slow kind of Bobby Brown circa '92 maybe something like that. Yeah, something like that going on.
Bobby had that a little earlier.
That's true. That was that's more like 88. 88.
Why are we dating?
No.
Let's not talk about that.
I'm just saying.
Time ago, we'll leave it there.
We were all alive in 88.
I'm just trying to help him out.
We were alive in 88.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help him.
No one's going to think we're not alive in 88. I'm just saying. We're not saying how old we are. We're just saying we're alive in 88. We weren't born in 88. I was alive. You was alive in 88, right? You were alive in 88? I was alive in 88. You was born in 88?
I was 4.
You was 4? Ain't nobody asked that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been House of Lies. We want to thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. As always, you can find me at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Also, I want to let you know that we do a live stream always. So if you want to tune in, we encourage you to live chat. Use the hashtag ABTV House of Lies, and we can join in the conversation. We can get what you're saying and answer to you right back in real time. And it's really cool. And once you do that, and also when this goes on YouTube, make sure you comment and give us 5 stars because the other stars don't count. Just 5. That's all we got. So next to me, Rhavin. What's up, Rhavin? Where you at?
It's been real. Your girl Rhavin with the V. McSweany signing out. I can be found at B Stays Busy, BIZZY. Until next week.
Yeah.
It's Jill Munroe. You can find me at Stiletto Jill everywhere. And check me out on JocksandStilettoJill.com for all your sports and pop culture gossip.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week. Until then, we'll see ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.